Hello, welcome. So I should be appearing now. Hello, welcome to my stream. It is Mexican week, so I got a sombrero mode. So yeah, welcome all. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, today is Mexican week, hence the sombrero. So we'll just wait for people to get settled in. And then, yeah, we'll crack on. Remember again, welcome everyone that's here. If you want to put in the chat who you are, what you're doing, if you're inside or outside, obviously I'm inside. But yeah, by all means, you are ask questions, ask a chat, that sort of thing. You know, interaction makes this go along, go quite far along. I haven't just got a sombrero for this week. I generally have a sombrero just in my house as it is. So as you can tell, there's the sombrero. Hopefully people are appreciating it. I will take it off for when I'm cooking because as you can tell, it's quite big. So yeah, what we're going to do today, I'm going to put the recipes in the chat. Hopefully that will appear. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do Mexican pilaf rice, and then we're going to do coriander limeade. Okay. What we're going to do is the recipe is up in the chat now, so you should be able to see it. And we have a second camera this week, as you can see, because we're going to do quite a lot of hob-based work, so you can see it. And I found a longer cable, so that means that we can see the pan a bit closer, which is good. So yeah, what we're going to do is we are going to crack on. So what we're doing first of all is the Mexican pilau rice, and we are legitimately cooking the pilau rice. Okay. So what we're going to do is we have 250 grams worth of protein, low protein rice. You can do this with normal rice too. Love the hat, thank you Hannah. Yeah, I think it will come off eventually because I'm already getting quite warm. This is what my birthday week has done to me, and this amount of quarantine is I'm wearing a daft sombrero hat to the internet. But yeah, so what we're going to do first of all, I use Promin rice. You can use any rice. It's 250 grams. Obviously, low protein and PKU rice is quite starchy. So what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to drain this in cold water to get rid of the starch. Okay, so I've got a little drainer thing here, as you can probably tell. Yeah, so what we're going to do is, first of all, put the rice in here. We want to make sure that we've got our hob on. I need a jug. So this is going to be our rice pan. I use quite the biggest pan possible because it's obviously quite starchy. So I want as much dissipating as possible. But what we're also going to do with this rice is we are going to add stock cube to it. So I've got my stock cubes here. I just need to go get a jug, so bear with me. This hat is ridiculous. It's way too big. So I'm going to take off the sombrero. We can have it here. There you go. So it's still feeling like it's there. So we're going to make our stock as well as draining our rice. So first of all, let's drain the rice with cold water. Give it a little bit of soaking. Okay. So then we'll leave that there to do its thing. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to make our stock cubes. Okay. So I unfortunately only have a half a litre jug, so I'm going to have to do one stock at a time. So follow the back of the packet for the stock. So this one states, when it says, yeah, so 500 ml boiling water. I'm doing 2 stock cubes because we're doing quite a lot. So what we want to do is boil the kettle, move my sombrero over to here, boil the kettle, and then we're going to add the stock in and stir it. So we're going to do it twice, so we're going to do a jug once and a jug twice. No, keep the hat back on. Saoirse, it's so big. This normally sits in my games room, so it's so big. I'll don it for a little bit longer, just as the people have wanted. But when we get into the major cooking, I can't be looking over a pan with this going to fall off my head. It's quite a fire hazard. So we're just going to boil this, put our stock in. The recipes are up in the chat. I hope everyone is having a good week. Yeah, so I haven't done this rice for quite some time. I used to do it quite a lot, but now it's I'm rekindling my love for the Mexican rice. As you can tell, that's our little camera setup. Yeah, so we're just waiting for the kettle to boil. We've got the things. I'm using this, so it's callo vegetable stock. You can use any stock that you want. That's by all means. And obviously in this list, I've got a little setup here. That's going to be where we're cooking the veg. So what we're doing first of all is cooking the rice, and then we're going to prep the veg, and then we're going to fry the veg, and then add the rice in at the end. Okay. So the first thing is to get rice, but it's not just normal rice. We're doing it with stock cubes. So adds in a little bit of flavour and adds in that Mexican kind of feel and elements. So once this kettle is boiled, it takes a little bit of time. We will do our thing. So people liking the hat. It's a big sombrero. It's I wonder what people would think if they looked into my kitchen while I'm doing this. One, I'm talking to a screen, but also I've got a sombrero on. And for the last week, I've had film equipment up in my living room. So I dread to think what people of my neighbourhood think I actually do in my house. Just some random guy with loads of lights in his house. So this is nearly done. We're going to break this up. What we need to do is we need to stir this up. Do that. We're going to get a knife this time, not just a spoon. So we're going to fill this up for 500 ml. We should have enough now. Add in a little bit more. So I could have prepped this, but I didn't want to because I wanted you to have like the authentic experience rather than me. Like I was umming and ahhing about cooking the rice first, and then you just appearing and then going, oh, you know, the rice has been done. I do have maracas. Maybe I do that at the end. There you go. That's your reason to keep watching. Is I have loads of different fruit maracas in my house. So I will don a fruit maraca and shake it at the end of the stream. If I forget, do remind me. So this is taking sweet time. It's getting there. Okay. So we're going to pour the stock into the pan that we're going to cook the rice in. Okay, and then we're going to do one more. I'm just doing 2 stock cubes, which aren't actually on the ingredients list, but I will add it. I'm doing 2 stock cubes just because of the volume of rice. Obviously, I don't normally weigh my rice, but for the ingredients and stuff I will do. So, what I'm going to do now is we're going to break this up first with the knife. That might speed up the process a little bit, rather than expecting it all to dissolve. I'm going to turn the hob on back here, just to make sure that that's ready to go. Okay, so that's broken up a bit. Let's add our water. Okay, put the kettle on again, just because we're going to basically, after the stock, we're then going to fill up the pan with as much water as possible to make it about 2/3 of your pan. So then, yes, you have a little bit of stock, but it's not too overwhelming. Thank you, Anita. You love the hat. It's good. It's Mexican week. While I make all my mistakes with my donut maker for next week. I will show you off my donut maker when we stop doing this. So just keep blending it. Try and get it down to as thin as you can. And then we'll pour this in. So that's filled it up probably about maybe 1/5 of the pan. So what you want to do now is you just want to fill that up with more water, and then we're going to put it on. The hob's heating up nicely. Ready. And then when the pan goes to boil, that's when we'll put the rice in. Which is nice and draining here, ready for its inclusion into the pan. So this is just heating up. How is everyone? I hope everyone is good. The recipe is at the top. I'll put it again in the chat just to make sure. Hopefully that link works. If it doesn't work, let me know. So then you can kind of see the two recipes that we are doing today. This is heating up. I'm not put this on the heat yet because I'm waiting to fill it with the water, because you don't want to burn off the stock too much. So, yeah, it's a lovely day. I'm sure some people are, so you can see the top of the hat. There you go. It's such a big hat, it's very hard to get it all in frame. But yeah, if people are outside, let me know. I'm jealous. I'd like to be outside myself. But yeah, this is nearly done now. There you go. People can sit. People can admire the sombrero hat while it's boiling. So this is now boiled. We're now filling this up on. So if I then take this back, and I'll switch the camera. Okay, so this is what we have now. We're going to fill this up just about 2/3 of the way. You don't want to fill it up all the way to the top. Okay, so that's to about that height. We're going to put the lid on it. And now we're just going to wait for that to boil. So we're going to come back. Hello. So, yeah, so we're going to wait for that to boil, then we're going to add the rice. This hat is making me sweat quite a lot. So, I don't know where to put the hat. Put the hat here. Because I don't need any of these things right now. There you go. So, what we're going to do is we're going to now prep the veg that's going to go in the rice. Well, we're going to prep the veg we're then going to fry into the rice. So my ESPKU cup, yes. So I got one of them from Turkey last year because I spoke. They gave me a little goodie bag with my turkey things. So I thought it'd be very apt because I'm going to be doing cup measurements for my ESPKU mug. So we're going to now chop these up. So we need garlic, we need peppers, we need onions, and these are all the things that are going to go into our rice concoction. So I'm going to get an eye. I'm going to keep an eye on the pan. If you haven't seen me look back at the pan for a bit of time, just remind me in the chat. Okay. So, we're going to chop up this garlic. We're going to finely chop it. As much as you've seen me use the jars and stuff, we're going to use fresh garlic today. Oh, no cook for you. See, maybe they just know that you'll turn up to every one. So, I'm sorry. I feel guilt now that I have a cup and you don't, Anita. I thought you had spoke, but I got given a little thank you bag. I don't know. You've become too much of a staple at the conferences, Anita. That's the issue. Bubbling away, but it's not boiling yet. And then we'll add in the rice. Obviously, once we add in the rice, then it's going to be a bit of a... It's going to take a bit of hit in the temperature because obviously we've poured cold water over the rice. So what you want to do is just factor that in when you're wanting to reduce the temperatures. So at the moment it's on 5 because you want to boil it, but you don't want to have it on 5 when you're doing your thing when it's cooking, basically, because then it will bubble it too much and become a bit too starchy. From my previous experience. So we're just chopping these up fine. See, this is the side that you don't see most weeks because I've normally prepped these in a bowl. But so this is now bubbling away. What we're going to do is we're going to add the rice in. Get a little spoon just so we haven't got anything left over. Okay. So that's now going to be bubbling away. I'm going to reduce it down a little bit in temperature. If we go to the back camera, you'll be able to see it. That transition. So you can see it's now bubbling away, doing its thing, and it's going to slowly get to the temperature. If I have a little look in, you can see it's got a mixture now. It's not pure white. If you did it without stock, it would be pure white, like in terms of really clear water and you just added in rice. So that's kind of what we're looking at the moment. So if we come back, right, so non-sombreroed me. So I've done the garlic. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the peppers. Very colourful pepper. I've seen that, I know Hannah's tried her banana bread this week. I've heard that Emma's Flo is excited that she's going to get donuts next week. So yeah, it's really fun to have the interactions during the week, and you do inspire me on what I cook or bake or whatever. And attempt is the word that's going to be probably for next week. Hello, Charlie. How are you doing? How is things? So yeah, it's inspiring, and I think next week there's going to be a fair load. Unfortunately, because my family are very interested, a fair load of what's it called? Attempts on the donuts and the waffle. So I've got a donut, waffle, and brownie maker, which has different trays. Once I've chopped this up, I will show you it in its lovely small entirety. Kind of looks like a George Foreman grill, which is a bit strange. So I haven't actually tried it yet. I'm planning on trying it after this. This is it. This is my little machine. You put in a different tray, and it does like brownies and waffles and donuts with different trays that it needs to do. So we're going to put this, just to keep it not all on the same tray. Put this in here. Then we're going to do the red pepper. We're going to turn down the rice. It's getting a bit warm. It's cooking away. Put the garlic in the bowl too. The thing that I find that I wash up the most every week that I do these live streams is bowls. I love splitting things into bowls. It's quite strange. I think it's just like aesthetic tidiness in me, where I like it to be all, oh, well, this is the pepper bowl, and this is this bowl, and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I'm quite weird. Does anybody else like to split everything that they make, or do they just keep it in one big bowl? So, chopping these up. There's no real rush with this, because once we've done the rice, we're just going to let the rice drain while we cook all these vegetables. So some weeks I try and have multiple things going on at once. Whereas with this, you can do if you wish, but you really don't need to. I need to start cooking more. Yes, you do. This is coming from a person that didn't really cook until they were 24. I'm 28 now, so I started late. If you start earlier, you have more recipes. You have more repertoire of cooking, which means that whenever you, I don't know, if you live away or anything like that, then you're actually going to be able to look after yourself a bit more than just living off chips. Well, you love beans. I remember you really like beans, don't you? So, Charlie's, I think, anyway. He might correct me now, but he really likes beans. So, he'd just be living on beans all the time. So I'm just going to put this in. So we're dicing this really. We're dicing the pepper, and when we come onto the onions, we're dicing the onions. If you don't like it nice and chunky, I kind of do. But if you don't like it nice and chunky, then you can chop them down further if you wish. Right. Did a 3-hour cooking exam. What did you cover in your 3-hour cooking exam? I don't have many positive experiences with when I did cooking at school. I did breakfast and I toasted toast or bread, and that was the elaborate nature of my cooking experiences. But a cooking exam sounds like you're some sort of legit professional. With the rice, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. So that's kind of why I've planned it. Once I've chopped up all these items, then that's kind of going to be a good time to start checking the rice. So again, bowls to split everything. Yes, I want to know what you did in your 3-hour cooking exam, Charlie. Considering I do an hour to an hour and a half of these streams, that's quite a lot of time in the cooking class to be doing stuff. Did you feel like you were on Bake Off or something? So we're putting this in. One more onion. Oh. How is it? Oh yeah, it's gone cloudy here now. That's a shame. See, I looked because I knew someone, I think it was Emma or someone, requested another week about barbecues. I looked logistically. One, I don't have any barbecue stuff, but it'd be very hard for me to get any filming out there. And like I said, I think my neighbours think I'm weird anyway. I don't feel like that's going to help establish community relations if I do barbecue and film it and talk to no one. I might, they might be doing a call to police or social services. Don't know why they call social services. So we're nearly chopping this up. I'm normally quite good with onions, but today it's killing my eyes a little bit. So, a little bit teary, but I'm all good. Right. So that is the veg. You can add mushrooms. Unfortunately, I don't have mushrooms, and I do have like frozen mushrooms or canned mushrooms. They're just not really the same. So we had to make everything like pasta from scratch. I made lasagna, chicken and mushroom pie, and fish and chips. Wow, all in 3 hours. Charlie, you're going to have to do one of these shows. You'll be far more time efficient than me. So here. Right, how's this going? Bubbling away. I'm going to set a timer just for about 5 minutes. So yeah, I'll put again in the group. This is, hopefully the link is working. But these are the menus. I've typed them up rather than taking a picture. Some weeks I've done pictures. So when my phone decides to recognise, I'm going to do a 5-minute timer. Just to double check the rice at that point. So we have peppers, we have garlic. I might do one more clove of garlic because hopefully, as you've realised by now, I like garlic. So, Charlie, did you have to do like legit normal folk food, or could you do PKU versions? Can't imagine cooking a chicken. Or were they not that accommodating? You just you had to cook normal people food. So I'm just going to do one more clove because I like it garlicky. But that's just me. I think it's probably my surname comes from Eastern Europe, the Ukraine, and my granddad used to eat raw garlic and onions. So I feel like that's where my tolerance has come for my garlic. Also, I don't really take any form of, like, if I'm feeling ill, I normally just have garlic. Unless obviously it's really serious and then the GP does prescribe me something that's, but that hasn't occurred. The rest of the time it is just like, here, flush your system with spices and garlic. So. Nice, so you did normal. Fair play. I think I always, when I did cooking, this was way long ago, because I didn't do it for any. I think it was more so skills rather than actually any form of exam or qualification. So yeah, I just did PKU equivalents and confused the tutor quite a lot by trying to come up with PKU stuff. So they were doing pizza, so I just made a pizza and stuff. So, but you can't really always find alternatives. So. Right, so this is bubbling away. If I push you to the back, then you'll be able to see that. So this is bubbling away now. Kind of see the rice all turning around. It's got a nice little general colour about it. So this is bubbling away. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fry, but we're going to probably use the same oven, just because that's a good position to do that. So we're going to come back. Cool. So we've got our veg. Then I need my spoons, my famous spoons. So I'll just go get my spoons. For the chili and the spices. Okay, so we're going to, we've got cayenne pepper as a spice. We've got mild chili powder as a spice. Obviously it's a spice. And then we've got a little bit of paprika, which I'll open up. And they're all these spices, and they're going to be done via teaspoons and half teaspoons in this. Okay, so we are, so we've got half teaspoon here, so we're going to take the spoon off, and we've got a full teaspoon here for the chili powder. Okay, we have, because obviously a fair few of these things contain coriander. So we've got the coriander. I am currently growing a coriander plant, which the coriander and a basil plant. They're upstairs. I didn't want to bring them down, just to unroot them. But yeah, you can use. I'm mainly using fresh today, but you are more than welcome to use anything else. So we're just going to check that this is moving okay. Yeah, it's really good. Doing well. So we've got this. We've got that. I'm going to open the paprika. How is the film you're making for the living room? So the film is done for Google now, which is good. So that is handed in, ready for Monday. So that was a quick turnaround, and now I am marking. A lot of marking is what I'm doing currently at the moment. So I'm not seeing too much of outside, I'm just seeing a computer screen, as per usual with me. So, but I have remembered that I do need to edit you that thing, Anita. Do not forget, I have not forgotten. Right, so that's to check the rice. So that's looking all good. So then what we want to do is we want to drain the rice. So I'm going to use the same thing that I had here. So we get rid of some of the uncooked rice out of it. Okay. And what we're going to do is, if I take you to the back, you can kind of see what it's like now. So that's what it's doing. It's slowed down now. So it's moving a lot less, which is good. So that's kind of it done. I'm just going to take that spoon actually. We're just going to check the consistency. It's pretty good. It's loose. That's kind of what you're checking for. This rice can glue together quite easily. So yeah, so we're just going to put that on and then we're going to drain it. Okay, so we're going to come back. Okay. I have been, don't worry, I will not. I know you won't let me forget and eat them, it's fine. And yeah, I have been living a lot on Animal Crossing. Guilty as charged. It's a computer game where you live your life on an island with no pandemic. It's bliss. So we're going to pour this away. Not pour it away, but drain it. So you want to drain it with any of the starchy water. So we're just going to leave this now, just to drain away. As you can tell, it's dripping a bit. So you just want to leave that to do what it's got to do. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to, when I've got my glasses back on, we are going to do the veg now. But what we're doing compared to what we've done before with like pasta and that sort of stuff is we are not wanting to brown this. All you want to do is just make it a bit more soft. Okay, so we're going to put this in. So two tablespoons. So is it? Yep, 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil. You don't want to use olive oil with this. I use olive oil quite a lot. You don't want to use that with this. So we're going to go back to the back of the pan, so just so you can start to see all this stuff. Cool. So we now have this. The hob is still warm from before. I need the spoon. To open my oil. And again, I wouldn't have this too much on a high heat. Okay. Again, you want to make this soft. You don't want to burn it. So I've got it currently on 3. That might be a bit low, but we're just going to see what's what. So that's now cooking, or it's heating up. And then what we have is we're going to start off with the garlic. So as you can see here, there's the garlic. Hi Carla, you had a lovely birthday cake, it was amazing. Yes, the cake was amazing. If anybody hasn't seen the cake, it's on my social media, it's on my Twitter. But yeah, it was amazing. I had half of it all in one go. My claim was that I had to use it up. So we're just going to put this in now. And what we're doing now is we're just frying the veg. And then we're going to add in the onion. I have to turn up a little bit more just to get a bit of heat, just because the pan is cold. And we've got the peppers. It's looking nice and colourful. Yeah, so I requested vegan marshmallows and buttercream. And people looked at, said I was crazy. People said it was a weird combination. And then my mum and her partner and me can testify, marshmallows and buttercream works. That's what I've learned from my birthday. Okay. So now we just gotta wait for this to start heating. The rice is draining good. If you need to get rid of more starch from the rice, then we could just come back to me before. If you need to get rid of more starch from the rice, then you can pour a kettle over it. I would try and not do that as much as you can, just because you've got the stock influence, and the more that you pour water over this, the less the stock is going to be within the rice. So, with that being said, you'd rather have it unstarchy and not gloopy compared to before. So if you need to put kettle on it, by all means. I think we're all good because it's kind of stopped dripping now. You can shake it a few times just to make sure that it's getting to the other parts of the rice, so it isn't just getting too comfortable. This is now starting to sizzle a bit, so we'll go back to the back of the pan. Cool. I did have a new thing for my birthday, which is this, which is what I'll put my pan on. So as you can tell here, there you go. Nice little stand for the pan. But ideally that would be off the oven. Okay, so this is now getting there. You want to keep on top of this because you don't want it to go brown. All we're looking for is for it to soften. Okay. Thank you. It looks fabulous. It was, yeah, it's a very nice. It's very nice, very nice. The cake. I don't know if I'll get to that level while I'll be cooking those sorts of cakes, but I will give it a go. At some point, I'll give it a go. Right, so this is now just doing its thing. If you're getting a bit impatient, you might want to put it up a little bit more, but it will make its way around. It's fine. And then once they've gone soft, or you're feeling like they're going soft, what you want to do then is add in the spices. Okay? So we'll add them in once they've gone soft. So I'm currently on 5 out of 6 if people are wanting a reference on heat. It's looking quite nice. So yeah, I can. Oh, I could say that I could try and find. I've got marshmallows in the cupboard, but currently the camera's in front of it. So that's just doing its thing. If we cut back to me. Oh, sorry for the glitching. Cool. I'll just move this camera out. These are the marshmallows, Caroline. Well, not those particular ones because these ones are huge. And then white ones. So these sorts of things. That guy, Cedric, I think his name is, was like a big guy in a costume or something at one of Anita's Christmas functions. So yeah, they're easy to find in various different places, as my mum said. But yeah. They're the marshmallows, they're very nice, and those bags will be consumed at some point, just as a general snack. So, we'll head back to the pan. Cool. So now this is going there. The idea of why you had so much oil before was because you want the oil when the rice is coming in, help like lubricate the rice. So you want it to be a little bit glistening and oily. rather than it be, normally if you're frying veg or something like that, it becomes quite, what's it called? It becomes quite dry as a pan. You do, Charlie. You do need to try the marshmallows. They are very good. Yeah, I'm sure probably if I ate about 10 bags of these, it won't be free. But they're very tasty. Quite expensive, but very tasty. And I'm sure Hannah will very much appreciate some marshmallows. I've never roasted them. I don't know if they roast particularly well, because I know people like that. But it's worth a go. So this is getting there with the softness now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the herbs and spices in. So we have cayenne pepper, which we're looking at half a teaspoon. Probably easier just to put the spoon in. So there's the cayenne pepper. And then you're wanting half a teaspoon of paprika. Yeah. And then what we're needing is a teaspoon. Obviously these are amendable. Teaspoon, a full teaspoon of mild chili powder. And then what you want to do is you want to mix this around so it isn't just on the one veg. And you do this at the soft stage, because what we're going to do is we're just going to leave this cooking for about a minute, and then we're going to add the rice in. So hopefully, if you can see now, it's got a nice little colour to it. Okay, so that's got a nice little colour. We're just going to let that settle now. Obviously, as you can tell, my pan is quite, it might be quite small for the sizing, which again, sometimes cooking is just about adapting. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have that pan at the back there to transfer the veg into and fit the rice in as well in terms of a mixing thing. So you just want a very, very slight amount of oil in there. Turn it up just so then it kind of helps mix it around. This is me adapting, as I can tell you. It's not professional. I'm not a professional chef. These things happen. Remember the blender last week? Mistakes happen. It's just about adapting. So these are now looking like it's really cooked through. Smelling nice and spicy. Okay. And then once this is heated up, we're going to transfer the veg into there. And then we're going to put the rice in as well. Okay, so as you can see both pans. See that angle's good. That angle's good. Looking really good. Thank you. Get in there. Please look past the fact that loads of onion was splayed around the edge. You don't need to look at that too much. That's now heating up, so we're just going to want to get rid of some of that excess oil. You don't want it to be too oily. Cool. Sorry if that was flickering. So, we're going to now transfer this in. And now this almost becomes like a big, I can actually then transfer that back into here. There you go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put the rice in. Like I said, I'm using foaming rice. You can use any rice that you wish. You can even do this, if it's 250 grams, you can even weigh this out with normal rice. It's obviously just in the exchanges. And now the whole point of it is to just mix it through. And take it down a bit on heat. Just mix it all the way through. So really, I kind of go until there's no white bits of the rice. And then kind of just takes the colour of the general veg. You'd like a plane to drop it off. Wow. It's quite easy to do. I mean, the recipe I posted in the chat, Charlie, so there's no excuse. With PKU rice, you don't want to work it around too much, otherwise it becomes too gloopy. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we are going to, once the system is thing, sorry for the glitching. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to I like it mixed up. You can have the veg separate, so you could have the rice in terms of on a plate and then put the veg in it. I quite like it as a big mixture. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in, well, we're getting our coriander ready because we're going to have coriander decorating it. So I think that's pretty much done now. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the hob and then get a plate. And then I'll transfer you to the front. So we're at the front now. We're going to bring the pan here onto my little stand. Yeah. And then we're going to put it on the plate. So I'm just going to have this as a complete dish. Not right now, obviously, but I will do. So that's why I'm filling the plate. You can kind of get a general idea on portion sizes, okay? So that's a whole plate done, and you've probably got another whole plate left in that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to chop some coriander and put that. Ooh, move some rice out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to chop some coriander just to decorate over the top. Just remove out the things. All the hobs are off, cool. So we're going to chop some coriander. Hopefully that is looking nice, people. You mainly want the leaves. Obviously, on the recipe it says that you can use frozen, by all means. What you'd have to do with that is you'd probably have to, well, no, you will have to, you'll have to add it in at the rice stage. So as you add in the rice into the veg, then that's when you would add in the frozen coriander. So it defrosts in time for you to be eating it. Obviously, I don't really have any weighted lines. So if you have weighted lines, that's what we're doing. Okay, so then what we want to do is you want to do a little bit over your rice, or your rice concoction. Hopefully. Okay, so that is what it looks like. Quite nice, quite a lot of colour in a sense. So yeah, that's kind of, that is our Mexican pilaf rice. So I'm going to move the pan. Over here. We're going to come back to the coriander because we're going to have more coriander later on. Hopefully that's looking nice for people. I will go to the back angle so you can see a bit better. So, hopefully you can see that a bit better. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Let me just come back. Boom. Transition. There you go. So, yeah, so that's what we're looking at. Don't want it to move too much. So yeah, there you go. So that's dish number 1 done. Sombrero for dish number 1. We'll have to move the sombrero actually because I need the other stuff on the other side. So I can do it with sombrero. So hey, I'm not suggesting I need better knives. You see the professionals with the finely chopped going. I can't necessarily do that too much. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do coriander limeade. Okay, so this is where the cup recipes come in with this. Okay, so I'm just going to clear away a little bit. Oh, you can, with this dish, you can add in a little bit of lime juice if you wanted to. So you can do a little squeeze of actual limes or lime juice. So that is up to you if you wish. I'm not, well, I can do a little squeeze. But it's only meant to be a little bit of a dash. Otherwise, your rice will taste like lime juice, which isn't particularly desirable. So just doing that. So a little squeeze. Little squeeze, there you go. And then that should give you a little kick. I can try one piece. I know that I kind of need to take a picture of this. So. That's really nice. I would say that, but it is really nice. And yeah, it's very spicy. Whew. So maybe if you're not too keen on spice, reduce your spice quantities down. But it's very, very nice. So what I'm going to do before we do the next thing is we're going to wipe up a little bit of this mess and the hob and stuff. If anybody has any questions, then do just ask away. And then we'll do the coriander limeade, which is almost meant to be like an accompaniment to your dinner. And it looks really nice with all the sunny weather that apparently we're having, but depending on where you are actually based, it might be occurring or it might not be. So it's a bit hard to think. Sombrero fits the theme well, yes. Unfortunately, I do not have a hat for every possible occasion of different types of food that I'm making. Imagine that. That'd be amazing. For donuts, I don't know what. I mean, I don't have anything particularly American to help with my needs with donuts for next week. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a man of hats typically. So. Right. So the surface is wiped. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do coriander limeade. Okay. So we're first of all going to have to make syrup. So we just need normal sugar, and this is where the measurements are based in cups. So this is why I have various different mugs here, and need a police hat for donuts. Yes, for the typical, yeah. See, this live streaming business that I just decided to do just so I could talk to people and try and get better at cooking, becoming a costly business. So, right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a cup. So half a cup of white sugar. And you want white sugar and not brown sugar. Okay, see, I just wiped the surface and now I've got sugar over it. So, we've got half a cup of white sugar. And then what we're going to do, we're going to do a little saucepan here. And with this, we are going to have half a cup of water. So half a cup of just normal water. And then we're going to add this into the pan. And we're going to have it cook for a little to boil, but really like not too fast. We'll do the same hob. Just going to warm that up. Okay. We could add a lid on just to heat it up a bit quicker or to get the hob a bit more normal. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add these in, we're going to bring it to boil, and then we're going to take it off the boil and add in the coriander. Okay, and the idea with this is it will just take in the flavour of coriander rather than, and then we'll be taking these out anyway. So let's put these in. We'll go to the back. So we're going to put in the water and the sugar. You don't want to boil it too much. So you can see that that's just getting there. We don't want to boil it too much. Give it a little bit of a stir. Wooden spoon, possibly, instead of a metal one. That might be a bit easier. Scrapes a lot less. So that's just, I use my little thing. Just need to keep an eye on it. because obviously what we want to do is we want to make syrup. We don't necessarily want to boil it too far. We want to bring it to boil, so you want to keep stirring it until it gets to boil. But then once it reaches boil, you want to kind of take it off. So we're looking to melt the sugar into the water. And then this syrup will go with lemonade or soda water or carbonated water to make our drink. So this is slowly coming up now to boil. You can see the steam slowly rising off it. Yep, so it's coming up slowly but surely. Yep, so we're starting to get bubbles in the water. Don't know if you can see that. Yep, so now it's come to boil. So now what you want to do is you want to take it off the heat. You want to add in the coriander. So I'm doing about 4/5 worth of the packet. So you want to add that in. Make sure it goes all in the water. And then put the lid on. You kind of want to let that just sit in it for about 5 minutes. Okay, so we are then going to come back to me. Hello, I'm still with my sombrero, don't worry. What we're going to do now is we are going to squeeze some limes while that sits. Sadly, the sombrero is going down. So I have limes here. And what you want to do, so I'm going to do about 4 limes into that to add in. So, use one of my containers here. We're going to chop the limes in half. He says, easier said than done. Okay, and then just squeeze every drop. Have I tried this recipe with other herbs? I have not, no. Obviously, I'm going for a coriander theme today. So yeah, I haven't necessarily. Okay, so that's one line done. So you just squeeze in limes. You don't want to get too much stuff in there though, you just literally want juice. Roll limes on counter first. Like that. Why would you roll limes on? Stand away. So just 2 more. And then what I'll do It's getting messy. This is a messy job. One more lime after this. And then I'm going to get the lemonade and some ice. And we will then be nearly done. Obviously, what people might be thinking at the moment is the coriander is going to end up in my drink. No, it's not. Not in the way that we are seeing it at the moment anyway. What we're going to do is we are going to sieve it out from that liquid that is currently sat on the cool. Okay, so that's all your limes done. Put them away. I'm just going to give this a wash because you don't want to have it, what's it called? Smelling of stock too much. You can use any jug. Actually, what I'll do is we will use, where is it? One of these. Okay, so the current lime juice that we have coming out is about 50 mils from your limes. Okay, what you can do is you can add in extra limes. Obviously, I've got one lime left, so I could put more limes in. Or if you do have lime juice, then you could have that in if you want. So we're just going to give it one more minute while we wait for that to strain. And then we're going to pour this into here. Okay, you can use any container that you want. I'm just doing this to get rid of the coriander. So you're wanting kind of about 50 mil. So I've got 50 mil at the moment, but you want a kind of 100 mil of lime juice. So you want to add in. Yeah. Yeah, because you're going for, it says in the ingredients 1 cup, so you kind of want an element of as much lime juice as possible. Probably even measure it in a cup if you want it. It's about half a cup at the moment, so you can add in a bit more. Put in about half a cup of lime juice. I've got a bit of coriander in it. Don't know how that ended up. Right, so what we're going to do now is these are, I'll show you actually on the back. Right, so if you can see, they're now kind of sunk in. I don't know if you can actually see that. Possibly. You have to take my word for it. I'll come back to the front and we'll show it that way. Right, so it's in there. Yeah, you can kind of see what we're going to do now is we want the liquid, but we don't want the leaves. So what we're going to do, so it's very much like coriander, is I'm doing a sieve over this to obviously separate the leaves from the water. Okay. Right, so that's the coriander, that part done. So now what we want to do is we've got your syrup, and this is in relation to your menu. Okay, so you've got your syrup, you have your lime juice here, and then what we need to do is we need it to have lemonade and some ice cubes. So I'm just going to get the lemonade and the ice cubes. Okay, so we have lemonade or soda water or carbonate water, whatever you want. You got your syrup, you got your lime. So what you want to do is you want to add in. We can actually do this on in a glass. Yeah, so you're going to have that. You're going to have this. Pour that in. And then you want the lemonade. Just fill this up. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Okay. And then we're going to bang in some ice cubes. Yeah, so here's the icing glass. So then we've got this. So it's kind of like a little cloudy liquid at the moment. And then we're going to pour this over the ice. And you can have a little bit more ice. They've come out for a reason. And it's summer or sunny at some point. So you got this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pour it over. Okay. And then what you can do with any remaining coriander is you can garnish it with a few leaves of coriander at the top. So that's kind of, you can see there's a little bit of coriander, and then that's it. So that is your coriander limeade. So if we move these out of the way, move the mugs, sort of thing. Again, you've got enough now here for a second glass. Yeah, there you go. So, I've been really uneven with my distributions there. Flo is so excited about donuts last week. That's great. Mint, yeah, you could do mint. I'm sure you could. I'll have to give it a go. That's nice. It's not too fizzy. So if you're not a big fan of fizzy pop, then it's not too fizzy because obviously you've got a lot of water mixed in. So it is literally just like a little bit of fizz and that's it. Flo's so excited about donuts next week. That's good. I'm excited. I'm probably going to be double the size coming next week from all my prep. Mint, yeah. I think yeah, it's quite nice. It's not too healthy, but it looks healthy, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we have done both dishes. So we've done Mexican pilaf, not pilau, and then we've done coriander limeade. And if I bring it back a little bit, I can taste the coriander a little bit. It's got a nice, like, earthy kind of taste to it. Not too much, but it tastes more like lime. I can taste more lime than I can coriander too much. So my sombrero is on, and I'll be back. As promised, I have maracas. One is an avocado, very apt given PKU's obsession with avocados. And I got a lemon / kind of looks like a lime to mix in with the limeade. There you go. So, is there any other questions, or is that kind of made sense? Hopefully, it looks good for you. Again, I pride myself on trying to do things that don't have any exchanges. So obviously, if you stick with low protein rice, this is purely exchange free, which means that you have more exchanges for chocolate and all the unhealthy stuff. So yeah, I realise that I'm wearing some of those jaunty angle. So yeah, any other questions? Or if not, me and my maracas will leave you. But yeah, thank you for coming, everyone. It's been great that you spent your time with me. I really appreciate it. It's nice to have the new people and reoccurring regulars. I hope people are enjoying this. Donuts next week. Even if whatever lockdown stuff happens, I'm still treating it as I'm in lockdown for the next couple of weeks. So these things will keep continuing. So yeah, donuts next week. I'll take pictures. I'll put them up on social media. But yeah, cheers for your time. And have a great Mexican rest of the day. See you later, guys.